Hey everybody, welcome to another week of Eternal decks. This one is going to be a Caiphus Revenge list. We're using lots of Dark Returns to get Caiphus back over and over, a bunch of other Revenge units, and Xenan Lifespeaker. I go over all of the decisions that I made for the deck choice in the actual deck tech video, which you can look at down below. And again, big shout out to my wonderful sponsor, inkgaming.com, who does help me do all these videos. They do really cool custom playmats, mouse pads, all kinds of other gaming gear. And you should definitely check them out. And of course, as always, a big shout out to all of my wonderful sponsors. I think I keep this hand. We've got Market, so we can actually go and get like Inquisitor, Makto if we really want to, or if we're in trouble, we can get a Harsh Rule. And we've got a little bit of Scout. Revenge unit right away. I think that's okay. Bottom that. We might need another power card eventually because we want to get to 5 and 6 with Winchest Merchant, but like, we're going to trade off one of these, so we can't really get up too high. But right now, I'd like some more gas. I'm just going to play the banner, because we don't have anything that we want to play onto. We can't Devour, so might as well wait. And then we can slam the Stonepowder Alchemist and start devouring. Opponent keeps on top. Ooh, Lifespeaker. Kind of unfortunate. It's nice that we can actually go Winchest Merchant Lifespeaker next turn, so we can just get a Makto with Lifesteal immediately. But let's do this. Cool thing about using Xenan Lifespeakers with the market is that you draw the unit when you market it, so boom, instant lifesteal. Looks like our opponent is probably on the actual temporal deck. It's been nerfed all to hell, but some people are still running it. We could go for a Crownwatch Press Gang, which I don't mind. Like, I could Devour, or I could go for the market right now. But we don't have anything that I really want to market away yet. I think I'm going to wait. Let's get another Lifespeaker. It might have been correct to get Tock ticks so that we could Devour, but I feel like they're going to have some board wipes anyways, so I'll want to hold up Devour after this. Probably not lay too much else onto the board. We'll see what they play here. It really is dependent on if they like start playing, say, like the Karoo, the 3/4 flyer that stops people from playing weapons, because that could mean that they're actually not temporal. They're more of a mid-range deck. Yeah, Aurelian Merchant, they're probably temporal, like 95%. Get something like a Vital Arcana, or any number of things. I doubt they get like a Passage of Eons or a Disjunction, but it's always possible. And there's Caiphus. We're just going to attack. We don't want to put too much more onto the board, honestly. And we can just wait. Playing against Temporal is all about really slow, grindy value. Yeah, Stronghold's Visage, sure. It's frustrating and annoying. It's what the deck is all about. It's trying to be as frustrating as possible. But that's the way to play against it, is just be very patient. Which I'm not really being by doing that. I want to Devour this and just see if we can't get a little bit more gas. Ooh, an Argenport banner is perfect. They're going to have a silence effect, probably, but we can risk one Makto. And if they don't silence it, well, we just keep getting it back. So, like, a Harsh Rule doesn't do it. End of the story doesn't do it. They need something a little bit better than that. Just killing Makto isn't good enough. End of the story. Sure, like, that's perfectly fine for us. And that does leave us open now to, like, Winchest Merchant and just trade for another Makto as well. Or we can just Caiphus, because we've got the Dark Return. And what do you have? Unblockability, double damage, and Revenge. Nice. Those are some good ones. It's not the double damage charge, Berserk, but hey, it's something. Oh, sweet. Harsh Rule. Okay. If we draw another power card here, we just Dark Return and Caiphus. Oh, right. Ugh. It's almost bad that I had Revenge. I forgot about that. We can Piercing Grief and Devour it, which is fine. I'm a little nervous about that, because if we do it, it does mean that there's like a non-zero chance that we immediately hit Caiphus again or something. And it won't be able to attack even if it has charge, which means they can just kill it again. I can Dark Return it at that point, but I think I'm actually going to go Lifespeaker, Winchest Merchant, and swap for Makto. And then I'm even just going to pass the turn. We can Devour at the end of turn if we have to. We can deal like 24 damage out of nowhere with that Caiphus, though, that we have in our deck. Let's go ahead and sacrifice. Choose a unit to draw. We'll get a Tock this time. Double damage, revenge, unblockable. Cool. This does mean that we lose the Crownwatch that we obviously drew, the Crownwatch press gang.
You're in the Crownwatch.
Which is unfortunate. It does pop Aegis, too. Charge, double damage, lifesteal, unblockable, destiny. Not bad. I'm gonna Piercing Grief, I think. And I'm gonna call the deck just to see what we get. Sure. Grab that. It pops Aegis, doesn't do too much beyond that. We don't want to, again, play too much onto the board into more harsh rules and things like that. Just pass that. Swing. We're going to play this because it's just going to die anyways, and then getting it back into our deck isn't a bad idea. They really need to silence Caiphus and not just kill it, because we just buy it back. It has charge and unblockability. Not going to have a good way to get rid of it. Ooh, Equivocate's excellent, yeah. Silence or something like that.
Steel can't hurt.
Warwick Runehammer. Sure. So I can just buy that back, which is fine. Ooh, Makto.
There is no escape.
Like, now that it's not super useful to actually get back Caiphus, we can instead just Stonepowder Alchemist, pop that way, draw a weapon from our void. We don't have any weapons. It's not going to be useful. Filling up a little bit on power cards here. I mean, probably not great that we have 10 power cards versus our opponent's 6 when they're trying to be the control deck. Could play this. It does give it Warcry. I just feel like we're going to walk into a board wipe if we do it. Crownwatch Press Gang is actually a reasonable hit, though. Same with Tock. It goes a little bit wide, but at least they have revenge, so it still makes our draws really live. Inquisitor Makto could have been another thing that we could argue for. But I don't mind thinning out my deck again, trying to get down to more Caiphuses. Yep, there's the Harsh Rule.
This ends now.
How many Harsh Rules have they had? Is that just 2, or is it 3? End of the story in 2. Okay. Yes, they've had a pretty good draw so far. Swing in with that.
Run, cowards.
Come forth.
And yeah, I guess we'll slam too. I should hold on to one of these sigils for sure so that we can end up win chest merchanting for like a Telut. Get something else out of the sideboard here. We're lucky that we haven't hit a whole lot of removal because our opponent just doesn't run creatures. They don't play an actual game. Just kind of the frustrating thing about playing the deck is that it tries to just not interact. Moondial. Ooh, giving us extra draw is kind of cool.
It's all your fault.
We're gonna get a regular Tock deck. We're gonna draw that other Destiny one right away. Which is a little bit greedy because like drawing another card here might be really awesome. Gonna use that immediately and smash. They need to draw a board wipe here, so we don't need to put anything else on the board right now. Like, it's possible that Stonepowder Alchemist could be a thing, but I'm not super concerned. Just wait. Okay. Scout, put it on the bottom. If they go for the draw, yeah, they're probably dead then. There's really not much they can have. Nice. Yep, slow and steady wins the race against Temporal, and not to mention the fact that I think Revenge is just really, really bad matchup for them. They need a lot of silence effects, and it looks like our opponent might have even just skimped on them. either just didn't draw them or really skimped on having enough, like, Desert Marshals and things like that. In any case, pretty good for us. That one Equivocate was a little annoying on our Caiphus. We almost smashed them to death with it. But Caiphus did a lot of work there. It did pretty solid. Alright, on to game 2. Okay, game 2. We've got a nice start here. Some units that we can use to Devour. Devour and Crownwatch Press Gang is nice, because that's how we can use the Tock tick, sorry. And we've got Cull deck here, which is pretty sweet. So, yeah, this hand's nice. I mean, I don't think this is the ideal starting hand, but it's certainly not bad. Sabotage. Grab our Cull deck. Sure. Don't see a lot of Sabotages anymore. Probably for good reason. I've never been a huge fan of the card, but that's just me. Ooh, hello, Cull deck. It's a lot better than Shakedown, which a lot more people have been playing, and I really don't like Shakedown. I think I just want a Sigil, actually. I just want to have as much power as I can. Get Stonepowder, Alchemist, get Crownwatch. I want to be able to make sure I'm hitting Crownwatches here.
Make each bullet count.
Pop our opponent in the face. Looks like they're probably playing like some kind of Scream deck, maybe with like Crunches and Torch, Quarry, things like that. Wisdom of the Elders. Might just be like a value mid-range deck too, but my guess would be something in the lines of Scream. There's Winchest Merchant. But we can just go for the Lifespeaker combo now. So we go Lifespeaker, and then we can Winchest and Lifespeaker to grab a Lifesteal version of Telut if we want. So we can just swap this out for the one that we already have in the market and get it with Lifesteal, or we can just go for Inquisitor Makto, which probably more likely to go for Makto, but either one is a decent choice. I'm not sure I'll do that immediately, but it's something that we can do. I might just play another Crownwatch Press Gang first, too, to get another Tock tick. Get a little bit more pressure, and have a good Devour target. Opponent did scout to the top. I'll go for the Tock tick play here. I can't play Makto even if I get it. So I'd rather just, like, keep filling out our board, get more revenge units. Yeah, sure, Hailstorm's fine. Like, it's annoying in a way, but we're going to Devour, so we'll get all these Destinies back, and it'll give us a lot of value, because obviously Crownwatch just draws extra cards for us. Yep, and there's also the odds that that happens. I mean, that was basically a 1 in 3 chance. 3 out of the top 10 cards are going to be revenge units when this was in our deck. So, let's go... I now have enough to actually have a guaranteed Makto if I want. Like, if I don't exchange the Justice Sigil, if I exchange something like Telut, or if I go and exchange, say, maybe Tock tick, I can actually get the Makto no matter what, which might be worthwhile. How likely are they to play, like, In Cold Blood or something? Pretty likely, honestly. I mean, just continuing to dig and combo by going Tock tick Devour might be the right play.
Come forth.
Welcome.
Okay, I'm gonna go a little crazy. I'm not sure how much I like this, but we'll see what happens. There's two really valid lines of play here. This one walks more into, like, another Hailstorm, kind of. It's definitely problematic if they actually have removal for the Makto, if they have, like, a Feeding Time or an In Cold Blood or something. Another Hailstorm. Okay. Yes, they immediately had to.
Now it's my turn.
Very nice. Vara is a card. So we can Inquisitor Makto. And I could buy back Stonepowder Alchemist because it's just automatically Destinied when we draw an extra card off of it. Yeah, the more that I say that, that actually sounds really good. So let's go ahead. I would not mind another card here.
Each bullet count.
It might help us guarantee that we get Telut. Ooh, and now we can slay Vara too. We could go for the double block. It again means that the top third of our deck is going to be action. We still have Slay for afterwards, so if they have another unit, then we can just slay that. We might be able to just land Telut, which, I mean, that's kind of the problem, is because if we can land Telut, Telut's a lot worse when we don't have a unit already in play to attack immediately. So, I mean, maybe I just wait. Just take it, Telut, if we can, and smash. I mean, we've got the Slay for it. This is probably correct. I just like killing Varas when I have the possible chance of doing it.
Now it's my turn.
I'm gonna sacrifice. We're hoping to land Telut and just attack for a bunch. And if not, yeah, we can slay this one. We've got this as a blocker, or to just race them. Do they actually have backlash? Rindra's choice. Alright.
Meet your end.
I'm gonna hold back then. Didn't expect main deck Rindra's choice. I wonder why. Why would you... Maybe just for all of the Azindals that are running around? That might be it. I actually want to block and just Devour here, because we've got a bunch of these Crownwatches that we can buy back. We stop them from gaining any more life, which I don't mind. Ooh, didn't hit anything. That's kind of nasty. But we get to go for Tock Tick. And pass. We can Devour again. Block Devour. Stop them from gaining any more life. Gonna attack with both. Ooh. It's super tempting to then just double block this first Vara, right? Trade it just for a Crownwatch? Okay. Like, now they're using Annihilate on something that doesn't really matter. They Annihilate that, and then we Devour the Tock Tick, and they don't get any life off of this one, at least. They still gain 5, but it helps a bit. I should have waited until that died so that we had more chances of hitting Destiny. I'm like, I've got to imagine we do eventually here, though.
You're in the Crownwatch now.
Draw a selection of things. Ooh, hello, Makto. Too bad none of them actually have charge for Telut.
You're in the Crownwatch now.
I feel like we're doing A-okay. I'm going to grab Caiphus, because they're not going to have a whole lot of ways to actually wipe the board entirely. And now we can killer this. Nice little hit there on Caiphus. Also has Revenge again. Nom nom nom. And we can annihilate this when we want. Let's try and see what happens. I'm going to do it now. Might be a little greedy. Haunting Scream? Ah, they have their own Caiphus. Yeah, Caiphus is nasty. And it's got Killer, double damage, and Warcry, right? No, Aegis, sorry. Aegis, double damage, and Warcry. We can pop the Aegis immediately.
A single spear leads the fight.
And we can actually berserk this thing. Yeah. Yeah. So it becomes an 8 and then an 11, and we get 4 Justice cards and nuke their Caiphus. Ooh. Caiphus is a problem, I think. Like, Caiphus is just dumb. It's so stupid with Telut. It's so stupid with a lot of things. Caiphus is scaring me. Like, the more that I play with it, the scarier Caiphus gets. Okay, here's our first hand that I really don't like. We just don't have any power. Let's see what we can grab now. Alright, double Cull the deck. Would really need some undepleted power here to actually have things work out well for us. But we do get a Scout. So maybe we can get there. It would definitely bottoming Annihilate. Like, Annihilate's a good card for us to have, especially early. Yeah, like, it'd be perfect here. But we wouldn't even be able to play it. We need undepleted power. So this might just be an auto loss just because of a really bad draw, which can happen to any deck.
Face judgment.
We'll see what happens. We need to draw a power card kind of right now. Yeah. Ooh, and we still don't get one. extra awful. Okay. We do get to Vara's favor that away now, but we're so far behind. Our odds of winning this game are not, I mean, not totally done in, but yeah, this is very bad for us. We need to draw power right now. We do have the Winchest Merchant, so we can swap that out.
You've run far.
Although I'm guessing that we have to slay that thing. Wow, still no power. And this is where it's really bad, because we have to keep answering our opponent's units, so we have to use our power that way, and we can't Winchest to actually get a market card. We're more in this game than I would have imagined with how bad this draw has been, though. So there's that.
You're in the Crownwatch now.
Get the Lifespeaker so we can do the combo. We might have a chance if we can combo that off.
You've run
Another Martial Ironthorn. Haru with Martial Ironthorn is a new one. Haven't seen that one before. And slay that bad boy again. I'm gonna wait. I don't want to play Lifespeaker because I feel like they've probably got a board wipe. They're playing Martial Ironthorn. Scourge of Frostholm main deck. That's certainly a card. Huh. Kind of feel like going Winchest Merchant, trading off something here, and actually getting power, because we're just so stuck. Could play Piercing Grief. Could also just Lifespeaker. I mean, now the odds that they have a Harsh Rule are very, very low, and we can just chump block this thing all day, so there is that. This is quite a deck. Yeti Pulse. Alright, sure. Like, I kind of don't mind just chump blocking here. We can chump block for a long time and get a lot of revenge stuff going. Yeah, draw a bunch of cards. It's too bad that we got so stuck on power. I think that we had a really good chance of winning this game. I mean, you can kind of tell already we're still doing okay despite being so stuck for so long. Revenge, double damage, Aegis. Hey, that's not bad. It does mean that even if they attack with a Scourge of Frostholm, it unlocks everything, so I don't even mind doing it.
Something catch your eye.
Genev Merchant, maybe like a double Permafrost kind of play. That would do it. Or silence it with a Valkyrie Enforcer and then Permafrost it, or a bunch of different ways that they can do that. I'm kind of hoping they attack the Scourge, because I actually think I'd trade Caiphus for it at this point. And their hand has been so good compared to ours. Oof. And somehow we're still not out of the game, which is kind of amazing. Double block. I am pretty happy with trading Caiphus. The Revenge is nice. It's going to help us a lot. We've got another Merchant. And so we can Merchant for just like Telut or another Makto.
Make each bullet count.
Kind of like Stonepowder and then Merchant away the Dark Return. It doesn't look like they're going to let us actually get out from under that. I'm going to get Telut. There's a possibility that we can Telut next turn. And if we can Telut, then hey, we might have a chance to win this game. Sure. Like, I don't mind just getting a critical amount of Destiny cards here. They're drawing so many on us, though. Giving our opponent like 4 time walks at the beginning of the game because we couldn't draw power cards. Incredibly enough, ended up real bad for us. Don't know why. Well,
a single spear.
We had wanted to do this. And that's pretty sweet. Thins our deck a little bit. It doesn't nuke them that much because the 7/8 is still a problem. You can still just smash through, but... I mean, this is looking kind of nice. I'm curious as to, like, what their finisher is. Oh, hail... They marketed a hailstorm. Okay. Sure. Yeah, Dark Return's pretty awful. Could grab that last Makto. I think that I prefer going Grief, Makto, and slamming.
You cannot hide.
We've got a lot of revenge on top of our deck. If we can just draw Caiphus or something, we might be able to charge unblockable or flying or something, just win the game immediately. Ooh, nice. Silence is pretty gross.
No more traitors.
Yeah, ultimating it immediately is a good idea.
You're in the Crownwatch now.
Give me more destiny. Come on, where's Caiphus? He's got to be pretty close. We've got a lot of revenge here. Nope, unable to get there. It might have to be the top card of our deck now. It's been a while since we've had it revenged, and we've drawn a bunch of cards off of all these destinies and stuff. Could Winchest Merchant for that Makto. Yeah, I should have gone for Xenan Lifespeaker actually.
Welcome, welcome.
I could have Tock ticked and immediately had Makto. I imagine they probably have another Eileen, though. I mean, this is a snap block. Yeah. There's nothing that I have. There's just not any reason not to do that.
Run, cowards. You cannot hide.
Get another chump blocker for the 7/8. Eileen can smash in, and I don't think we really can block it. We might be able to go wide here. Oh, man. I can't believe how close we are to winning this game, despite how incredibly bad our starting hand was. Like, just how many free turns we gave them.
Something gets you
Pretty
wrong.
insane. Shows that deck can be really, really good. Really? Yeah, I'm taking that if they'll give it to me. Maybe they just play another Scourge of Frostome. Yeah, okay. Alright. Now's our chance. Is it unblockable or flying? Reckless, Lifesteal, and Endurance. Ah, so close. Still didn't even get charge. Go to 14. Oh, man. Telut's so close to getting us there, too. Alright, Telut, Piercing Grief. This is still pretty sick. We gain a lot of life. Just not sure that we can actually afford to not block with Caiphus or Telut, which I would like to do. 17. Yeah, they have exactly lethal, but they can't actually cut through Caiphus. So it might just be 7. Did they top deck away to kill Telut again? No. Alright, sweet. That's pretty gross then. Definitely had a low roll on Caiphus this time. Unfortunate. But we gain a billion life, and we now have all of our Dark Returns finally unlocked, which is kind of cool. Start triggering those destinies again.
Make each bullet count.
They haven't shown us a harsh rule. They've only been playing hailstorms. They might have one, though. I can't believe that we're winning this game again. Sucks that we had to market away all of our Dark Returns, but that was a good call at the time. We still have 2. There's the harsh rule.
This ends now.
Still not the worst thing for us, and they're going to have a fair bit of power still. Like, I actually think that we've drawn more power than they have, despite how many cards deep they are. Because of the fact that they did have Desert Marshal, or not Desert Marshal, sorry, Marshal Ironthorn doubling up their power. So they should stall out a little bit.
You're in the Crownwatch now.
I'm going to take Lifespeaker. Lifespeaker is actually a threat to an extent, so...
Come forth.
Getting rid of that harsh rule is weird. It feels like they might have another one, but I'm going to make them have it. Eileen again. Sure. We can slay that. They get to wipe the board,
No more traitors.
but it takes their whole turn.
Make each bullet count.
And we still have revenge units just lurking away. Any Dark Return is also insane. Cull the deck would be amazing. We've got a lot of very, very live draws. Wow, their draws have been super sick.
Our wings and will are unbreakable. Face judgment.
There's our destiny.
There is no escape.
Oof. Ooh, it's so close. On a Dark Return. I hate putting one of these on the bottom. So they're just going to wipe the board, which sucks.
Make each bullet count.
Because of Marshal Ironthorn. Winchest Merchant. I can get the Harsh Rule. I can also get a Slay.
Welcome, welcome.
Right. That'll do a thing. Pop that bad boy. And any more answers? Another Eileen? Hopefully they actually drew a power card here. Fine. Hailstorm again. End of the story. I assumed that it would be a harsh rule. Sick that they had it, like, as a top deck. Nasty, nasty. Oh, wow. Yeah, they're drawing so well. It's still gonna be a tight game. And they're just warping that to try and get through their deck. Kind of question that. Alright, well, we've gone through more than half of our power, which is good. Especially considering we're not halfway through our deck. Nice. Very nice. Alright, well, I mean, you can imagine that we absolutely demolished this deck if we had not given them, like, 4 turns at the beginning of the game, being stuck on power. And we've still almost managed to do it. We can still turn it back even now if we just draw some of our Destiny cards. Instead, we're just going to flood again. That's too bad. Yeah, I mean, they're down to less than third of their deck. And they've doubled up, like, was it 3 power cards? So they've actually had as much power as we have, basically. Which is, whoo-wee! That's a pretty good draw for them. They've done really, really well on that. Yeah. Their draw's been very sick. And yet, like, despite that, we still have almost won this.
Something catch your eye.
We can actually still top deck Caiphus and get it with, like, unblockable and, oh yeah, because they named Caiphus and Inquisitor Makto. Fair enough. Yeah. Too bad. That deck was that game was really, really winnable if we had anywhere near a reasonable draw at the start of the game. And, I mean, we almost beat them anyways, so that was pretty sweet. Okay, have to mulligan this one again. Unfortunate. Especially after that last one. Oh, man. Just, like, thinking about that game again. Our opponent had to have us like, sit there and do nothing for, like, the first 4 or 5 turns of the game. And they had to top deck End of the Story to get out of it at the end of the game anyways. And they managed to do all of that to somehow save themselves. We still almost won that game. This hand's pretty solid. Tock is interesting, but I mean, we already have the Crownwatch Press Gang. If one of these was a Devour, I would snap keep it. I might need to chump block, which is why I'm a little bit worried about putting it on the bottom. But we do have double Annihilate, so it could be okay. Ooh, 2 Caiphus. That's slow is the problem. Like, really slow. I'm going to bottom Caiphus. Powerful card, but we don't want it right now. We really need something that we can interact with early.
Ah, a customer.
Okay, this is almost certainly going to be a Xenan initiation. They look like they're going to be Xenan killers, so like lots of deadly units, Dawnwalkers, and fight cards. Ways to give killer. So I'd be kind of surprised if they didn't go for something like that. Maybe a Xenan Obelisk, but I feel like initiation is into like an unknown deck. That's most of what you want for what they're running. I could Annihilate this right now so they don't have the power bonus, but I think that we wait. It's too likely they have things like Sandstorm Titan or like a Dawnwalker fight card, and we don't want to let Dawnwalker live with a Xenan initiation on it. Because they can easily have 5 power here, go Dawnwalker, and play a Xenan initiation just so that they have it. And I would want to respond and stop them from doing that. Oof, double market this early is really terrifying. Means they just get to set up their deck perfectly. Especially with Aurelian Merchant. Oh, they didn't change it. Maybe that means I kill one of them? Because they're just trying to boost their power? Maybe they're trying to go for a Zindel. And I can't really beat a Zindel if they can just slam it, so might be the correct thing to do. Grab the Tock because we really want to devour something. Yeah, they might be just ramping to a Zindel. In cold blood. Wow, sick. Alright. Fair enough. You don't see as many in cold bloods anymore, and that's pretty backbreaking for us. I'm gonna go Tock, play the banner. We have both Annihilate and the Devour up now. And then we can get Caiphus next turn into Telut, hopefully. If they play another power card here and nothing else, I might just want to Annihilate this Merchant so they can't get a Zindel. I feel like they went for a Zindel. It seems like they're more of a big game kind of deck instead, rather than the Xenan Killers list that they thought they might be. With things like In Cold Blood, that seems like they're not running Xenan Initiation to me, at least. Dark Return's very cool. Because then Caiphus gets a little bit better. Double damage and killer. I'm gonna do it on this. I have Death Strike, okay. Like, the odds are that they're not gonna be able to play what they want to if we can just kill that over and over.
Not a threat.
Nice.
Just a promise.
Shakedown's actually good there. Not normally, but man, pretty sick on that hit. Pre-combat Sandstorm Titan with a flyer is interesting. We can Telut, but it doesn't do quite enough. I really want to kill the Sandstorm Titan. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe Telut right now is just good enough because this card's, like, insane. It draws us a bunch of cards and nukes most of their board. This is now useless once we do that. It does set us up. They can't even really attack the Titan back. I mean, sure, we throw away Tock, but do I really care about that? I mean, probably not. Like, just sacrifice Tock, -1/-1 your opponent's board, and draw and play 2 power cards. I mean, that's probably worth it.
Now it's my turn.
Give that those pluses. We can Annihilate it. I do feel like they're going for the Azindal, but at least Telut really does nuke Azindal very well. Right now, I mean, I would actually just attack and then annihilate in response, but they're not going to be able to positively block Telut anyways. So I guess it's like, might as well just do this. We can actually Piercing Grief and gain a billion life too, if we want to. Does just give it the... It does just give that the weapon, which isn't super useful, because it just dies immediately. I think I'm just willing to slam here. Draw another 2 cards, and we'll Lifespeaker ultimate. And I think we'll even Vara's Favor just to draw the power out of our deck, so we don't have to worry about it. I'm gonna keep this so that we can mark it if we need to. Telut is really dumb, by the way. In case you were wondering, Telut's a stupid card. I will take a Makto.
Run, cowards! You cannot hide!
We could play both Piercing Griefs and just slam the whole team. It doesn't really do a lot. It lets us get in for 3. That's it. I think I'd rather wait until next turn so we can slam with everything. I'm very worried that they just play a Zindel. Depleted power. Like, they 100% have a Zindel. They obviously marketed for it. Dark Return, huh? Could Dark Return Telut. I could also Dark Return Caiphus. Caiphus was killer, double damage, quick draw. And that's pretty solid. I don't like that. Let's go for the... This is a deck that's all about the Caiphus, the Wandering King. Let's go ahead and do it. I want to slam. Reckless, unblockable, killer, double damage. It's not quite lethal. We didn't get Berserk. That being said... Don't mind just nuking that now. Kaboom. Even if they play a Zindel next turn, they can't get in for any damage, and then an unblockable Caiphus is probably enough to win the game. And if it's not, I mean, these are doing a pretty good job. Yep, there's the Zindel, and they're just dead.
Witness true power.
I mean, I could also slay a Zindel, but yeah, this is more than enough. Indeed, you will witness true power. Man, Caiphus is a card. Caiphus and Telut. Well, those cards are really strong. This hand is really interesting. I actually think I keep it. I know that I don't have any Justice, but Call the deck can draw us like a Xenan Lifespeaker or a Tock tick, and then we can just Devour it and just start the chain going. Any Justice at all. We're on the draw too, so any Justice at all. We've got Slay too. I think this hand's fine. Telut's a little bit awkward. If I could change one card in this hand, it'd probably be Telut. Or like a power card into a Justice. Because if we had a Justice Sigil here, like a Crest, then this would be perfect. Piercing Grief. Might be against aggro, which could be a problem. We have a lot of life gain. If we can get Crownwatch Press Gang down, I think we're in really good shape. Because it'll give us a lot of blockers for that. And a lot of good blockers for that. But there's also the problem of... if we don't hit it, then we could be in a lot of crap. Which we kind of are right now. That is really bad call to deck. Well, I guess we call again. Darn. Well, we're 3-1, fighting the final boss. Our only loss was to a game where we just got, like, royally stuck on power early on. And the same kind of thing is happening here, which maybe means that we just need to run some additional sources. We are running very, very thin on them. But we have a lot of card draw, so I was kind of making it up that way. As it turns out, we're just, like, not getting it, though. Our additional card draw was not hitting it like we needed. Womp womp. So essentially we need to draw a Crownwatch right now. Yeah. It's 2 minutes. Too late. Game's over real fast. It's too bad. But not much we can do about that. Sure, Stonepowder Alchemist, you could argue like, oh, I shouldn't concede there. Could have drawn Stonepowder Alchemist. We still lose. There's no way we can beat the weapon and everything else. Way too slow of a hand. They just get to kill it and keep smashing forever. They've got a billion war cries. We're too far behind. So, I mean, we went 3-2, and our only 2 losses were to, like, really, really obvious power problems. And we almost pulled out the one where we had amazing power problems. Like, our opponent had to top deck over and over to actually win the game, even though we had such problems. So, this deck is pretty solid. I mean, we've seen it come back a couple times. Caiphus is just silly. Like, there's always that moment where if you have a Caiphus in your Void, then all you have to do is hit a Dark Return, and the game can just be over. I have a couple of screenshots of me trying to play this game earlier where I just had, like, Telut and pulled back a Caiphus and immediately smashed my opponent for 24 with, like, an unblockable 12... Berserk double damage Caiphus with Telut. It's like... yeah, it just does that. Like, things will just happen where it's like, oh, this game's kind of even. Oh, wait, I hit a Dark Return, and there's a Caiphus in my Void, so I win the game immediately. Which, I'm a little bit worried of it being a problem, right? Like, if this actually becomes a popular deck, if this style of thing, like, not maybe this list exactly, but, like, moving around some cards here and there, and making a list that has Caiphus and Dark Returns, and can just random into auto wins like that, if that becomes a good enough deck to be tier 1, that's an Echo Makto situation again, where it's just like RNG Fiesta games, and I'm not sure that I like that. So kind of interesting to see Caiphus being very powerful, because this card has the potential to be a problem if it's very powerful. But man, the deck is fun. If you want to check it out, you can look down below. I have the deck tech video linked. And you can also check out my Patreon and my wonderful sponsor, inkgaming.com. And of course, as always, I just want to give a big shout out to all the beautiful people that choose to support the channel through subs and patrons. Just really fantastic. And you get this early, so I'll be putting this up right away. It'll go live on like Tuesday morning for all of the subs and patrons. You can check it out in my Discord channel for the link or on patreon.com. And for everyone else, it goes live on like Thursday. So you get a couple days early. You can check out the deck techs at an earlier time. And you also get entered into the Tournament of Power, which is our monthly tournament where I take all of the sub decks that get submitted to me in the Discord and I play them off against each other. We had a really good one this month. Had strangers win the entire thing. And it's just a blast. We get a lot of chat interaction as well, because we let chat vote on whether or not the decks get to stick around, or whether they get erased, or whether they go to sudden death with lots of extra stipulations and stuff. So it's just wacky fun for like 30 hours it was this time. And the winner of the tournament gets a prize. We gave out a channel shirt this month. And yeah, I mean, if you are a sub or a patron, definitely check that out. You should always look at our Discord. And I will be back again next week with more deck techs for you. So have a fun time in Eternal, and good luck.